Think twice before going to Ukraine. I know what I'm talking about. I am Ukrainian. And I am Ukrainian from the second biggest city of Ukraine and the closest one to Russia. Only 80 kilometers to the border. My city is unfortunately the furthest one from the EU border. That's why it took me almost 3 days to leave Ukraine and to go to a safe place. By the way, you can watch my story on the Instagram. Every time I say where I am from, people immediately say, "Oh, I know the city, I heard about it on the news." Yeah, that's true. Kharkiv has become really famous on the news. When your city is getting destroyed every single day, it's not something we are proud of. Even in 2025, my city is still beautiful and I've been there twice. First time I went was 2 years after I left. 2 years I didn't visit my family because it's not safe. And even now it's not safe. The second time I visited in January 2025. Even though my family stayed there the whole time, it is not safe to travel to Ukraine. So please think twice. Somehow, I don't know why, but many people think that everything is back to normal. Well, it's not. The soldiers keep fighting and the Ukrainian cities keep getting destroyed. The better situation is in the western part of Ukraine, which is quite safe, I'd say. So, in case you still want to travel to the western part of Ukraine, which I don't recommend, or in case you actually need to go to Ukraine for some other reason, I will share how I did it, how I went to Kharkiv in 2025, and I will explain how all Ukrainians travel between Ukraine and EU. Hello and welcome to this channel. I'm Yulia, I'm Ukrainian and I've been living in Spain for the last 2.5 years. In this channel, we travel around Spain and the world. I talk about Eastern Europe and also we learn languages. I speak 4 languages and learning my 5th one. Don't forget to follow if you would like to see more videos like this. Since now I'm living in Malaga, it takes me at least 2.5 days to go from Malaga, from Spain, to my city. If you're going to somewhere closer, for example, Lviv is a very popular touristic city in the western Ukraine, it will take you less. Almost half of this time is just the train that goes through Ukraine. Let me explain. Why is it so difficult to go to Ukraine? Well, because all the flights are cancelled. We used to have flights to Poland, to Italy, to Spain, Germany, and many other EU countries. Nowadays, we have zero. So first of all, you need to go to the closest country that has borders with Ukraine. In my case, since I'm living in Malaga, I went to Poland. This is the most convenient connection with Ukraine. Let's say the most convenient and affordable connection, and also there are direct trains to my city. I left Malaga on the 31st of December and went to Krakow. I celebrated New Year at this beautiful square watching the fireworks. Nothing like this in Spain at midnight. In Eastern Europe, we do know how to celebrate the New Year. I had to stay at a hostel till the morning, and early morning on the 1st of January, I took a bus, Krakow Przemysl, which is around 3 hours. Another option would be to take a train. Afterwards, the third part of the route is the train Przemysl Kharkiv, which takes 23 hours. Whenever I say that, imagine the shock on people's faces. But because it's approximately 1,200 kilometers and it's not a fast train, but you can sleep on this type of trains, there are sockets, but the internet is very weak. Even with the Ukrainian SIM card, mostly only during stops in the cities. I still consider it's a comfortable option. Of course, you can save some time and, for example, go seated, but I don't prefer those trains. My city is too far away. I will explain that there are different options and you don't need to spend 23 hours, especially if you're not going to Kharkiv, since Lviv is very close to the border. And here on the train, I enjoyed it so much. It gave me so many nostalgic feelings. Since I was a kid, we would take these trains and go to Crimea to spend the vacation there or go somewhere else around Ukraine. Train was the most comfortable and affordable option for us. And I think you noticed that Ukraine is quite big. That's why it's not easy to travel. It takes time. On this train, I saw one of the most beautiful and brightest sunsets ever. And also these Ukrainian railway teacups, they're so nice. They actually didn't raise a price at all. I swear that 5 years ago it used to be the same. The current price of a black tea is just 10 grivnas. There are trains where you just sit, or there are this type of trains with sleeping compartments. Here, for example, you can see the compartment for 4 people. In our language, we say coupe. So if you see that, it means that it's kind of luxurious, like it's not the best. Also, there is the option for 2 people only. And on some trains, you can actually sleep, but it's all an open area. So basically, it's like a hostel, which takes you somewhere. Let's consider all the options on how you can get to Ukraine and why exactly I choose to go by train and not by a bus, for example. Since 2022, we've heard so many stories of the delays at the border, and these delays happen with buses. There might be a queue and it might take hours. I'm not talking about 1 hour or 2 hours. Sometimes it might be 5, 8, 15, and more. Right now, I think it's not happening anymore, but it used to be like that. Even more than one day at the border. And all the time, you're either seated or standing, just waiting to cross the border. So you cannot plan anything. Even if it's a 5-hour delay, it's still a lot if you have, for example, a flight from another country. So I think it's so much safer for your schedule to book a train ticket. Once you're taking the train, there are no delays since you're going through the customs before going on the train. All the security checks are there. Also, there is a specific time dedicated to another security check on the train, but still there is no queue, no other buses, just one train. So it's already scheduled. I will share now all the train options that you can use to go to Ukraine. They're all real, all these trains exist, and there is actually good train connection with Ukraine. You must know that some trains are actually really hard to get. For example, Warsaw-Kiev train, don't even try. No chance. But it exists. So, if you're traveling to Poland, consider these 2 options. The route is Helm, which is close to Warsaw. Another one is Przemysl, which is close to Krakow, Katowice, and other Polish cities. Choose one of these 2, and then you can take a train there to Lviv, to Kiev, and even to Kharkiv. As a Ukrainian citizen, to book these tickets, I just go to our railway application. But the issue is that some routes require the confirmation via our identity application, and they're only available for Ukrainians. Therefore, you can buy the same tickets, almost always they're the same, using the European railway platforms. For example, if you're buying the tickets from Poland to Ukraine, you go to the website of Polish Railways. I will leave the list of all the railway websites where you can look for these tickets. Just in case, you can also check on the Ukrainian website, at least to know the schedule. As I noticed, not every train is available, but still most of them are available on European Railways websites. Hungary and Austria also have good options. For example, my way back is planned via Budapest. It's also a good connection. There is this train, Wien, Kiev, or Budapest, Kiev, or even you can look at some closest parts of the route. It will be so much cheaper. If you want to save money, you should try to make your journey as short as possible to cross the border. For example, if you're going from Hungary to Ukraine, you can take the train from Hungary to the closest Ukrainian village or town, for example, Chop, Mukachevo, Uzhgorod, these cities would be the cheapest. And afterwards, buy your next ticket from this same city or village to your destination, for example, to Lviv or to Kiev. This is what we Ukrainians do to save money. Slovakia also has trains to Ukraine. For example, from Bratislava with a stopover in Košice, you can also go to Ukraine. Czech Republic as well. There is this route, Prague-Kiev. And also don't forget about Moldova, since Moldova is not even part of EU. Therefore, it doesn't require any visa applications if you need a visa for EU. I'm leaving all the websites to book tickets to Ukraine down below. This is it for today. Stay tuned. See you in the next videos about Eastern Europe, living in Spain as an immigrant, and about learning languages.